This next idea for original research is to reach out to people who work in the business of the topic of your blog post. Let me give you an example here. When I first wanted to get pet fish, I could have watched a bunch of YouTube videos to learn all about them. I could have read a bunch of blog posts, and a lot of people are going to, which is why you need to write that blog post. But my wife and I went straight to the fish store, to a pet store really. And in the pet store, we ran into the fish guy. There was this guy there at the store that he was a fish guy. He had several different size fish tanks at home, had kept fish for years, knew all the different species that were there in the store, knew them really well, knew what actually goes well together, above and beyond just what the little papers on the fish tanks say. I knew exactly what size of fish tank I wanted. I knew exactly what to put in it. I knew exactly how to treat the water and make sure my fish would be healthy and how much to feed them. I mean, I got so many questions answered in like 10 minutes. And if I were writing a blog post on that topic, I could have gotten that information and not ended up accidentally replicating exactly what somebody else wrote on the web. You see, because that's what happens when you use other blog posts as your only source of information. You end up mostly just repeating them. Whereas if you can come to your blog post, start writing it without having read what anybody else has written, it makes it a lot easier for you to not end up practically plagiarizing somebody else. Let me give you a couple other examples. Let's say that you wanted to write a blog post about boating insurance. One option would be to do a whole bunch of research, but another option would just be to call a few different insurance agents from different companies and just say, hey, I'd love to ask you a few questions about boating insurance. If I could, I'd love to get a few quotes based on different types of boats. I'd love to find out what factors influence the cost of insurance, what kind of things are covered by that insurance. If you could give me a half an hour, I'd love to give you, I'll go ahead and give you a shout out in my blog post. And you'll find that a lot of people that aren't super busy will be willing to give you that half an hour of their time. Likewise, let's say you want to write an article or a series of articles that cover a topic, but in various different maybe regions or different countries or different states. You just send a questionnaire out to business owners that work in that industry, a few in each of those regions, a few in each of those states. You ask those questions via email, and if you can get just one back from each region, now you've got a fantastic series of articles that nobody else is going to be able to really compete with unless they go do all that research themselves. So reaching out to a business owner to just learn the knowledge from somebody who's deep into that industry, and then you convert that information into something that's easy for a beginner to understand, you're going to have great content that is totally not replicating anything else that's already out there on the web.